If you're still jumping between Google Calendar and Notion, there's a better way. And I don't mean embedding a Google Calendar link inside a Notion page. What I'm referring to is a dedicated calendar application built by the Notion team. One where your external calendar events and your Notion project databases exist side by side, fully connected. If that's something that your workflow is missing, stick around because I'll walk you through the entire setup. What is Notion Calendar? Before getting into the setup, it's worth taking a moment to clarify what Notion Calendar actually is, because it differs from what many users expect. Notion Calendar is a standalone application, separate from the main Notion workspace, but built to integrate directly with it. It's available as a desktop app for both Mac and PC, and also as an iPhone and Android application. The best way to think of it is as a conventional calendar, day view, week view, month view, but with one important distinction. It pulls in your Google Calendar events and shows tasks and deadlines from your Notion databases, all within the same interface. For teams and founders in particular, this distinction matters. When project deadlines, sprint tasks, and team meetings are all scattered across separate tools, things get missed. Notion Calendar is designed to address that directly with a single view and a single source of truth. So, with that context in place, let's get into the setup. Step-by-step walkthrough. The setup involves 4 parts: connecting your Google Calendar, linking your Notion workspace, creating your first event, and navigating the different calendar views. Let's go through each one. Connecting your Google Calendar. When you first open Notion Calendar, you'll be prompted to connect a Google account. Click Continue with Google. Select the account you'd like to use and work through the permission prompts. Once authorized, your Google Calendar events will begin populating immediately. If you have multiple calendars under that account, personal, work, or shared team calendars, they'll appear in the left sidebar. If you need to add a second Google account for a separate work profile, for example, navigate to Settings and under Calendar Accounts, select Add Calendar Accounts. There's actually no limit on how many accounts you can connect, and each one will remain organized within that same sidebar. With your Google Calendar in place, the next step is bringing your Notion workspace into the picture. Connecting your Notion workspace. This is where the integration becomes more powerful. Once your Google Calendar is connected, return to Settings and locate the Notion tab. Click Connect, authorize access to your workspace, and Notion Calendar will begin pulling in your workspace databases. One important detail to note: for a Notion database to appear in your calendar, it must contain a date property. If you have a project tracker or task list in Notion and it includes a due date field, Notion Calendar will recognize it and allow those items to display alongside your scheduled meetings. Now that both accounts are connected, let's look at how to create events directly from within Notion Calendar. Creating an event. Creating events is a straightforward process. Click on any time slot within the calendar view, enter your event name, fill in the relevant details, participants, a meeting link, and so on. Then select Send Invite if other attendees are involved. The event will save to whichever calendar you've designated as your default. That default can be adjusted at any time within Settings. Finally, let's cover how to navigate the different views so you can find the layout that works best for how you plan your day. Switching views. At the top of the interface, you can toggle between day, week, and month views. Week view tends to be the most practical for day-to-day use. It provides the right balance of detail and broader context. Month view is well suited for a high-level overview of upcoming commitments. Day view is most useful when your schedule is particularly dense and you need to move through it hour by hour. Calendar accounts in the sidebar can also be collapsed or reordered to keep the interface from becoming visually overloaded. Before moving on, if you're considering making the switch or you're just getting started with Notion, there's a free plan available, and I'll include a link in the description below. No credit card is required, so it's easy to get in, explore the workspace, and see whether it fits how you work. Notion Calendar is included at no cost. Now that the core setup is covered, let me show you what actually sets Notion Calendar apart from using Google Calendar on its own. What Google Calendar cannot do. There are 6 specific areas where Notion Calendar goes beyond what Google Calendar is capable of. Number 1, syncing with Notion databases. In Google Calendar, events are just events. There's no connection to the actual work behind them, your tasks, deliverables, or project timelines. In Notion Calendar, that changes. Once a Notion calendar is connected, those database items appear directly on your calendar. If you maintain a content calendar in Notion with due dates on each entry, those items surface on your Notion calendar the same way any meeting would. Clicking one opens the full Notion page in the calendar, and you can edit it, update the status and notes, and make changes without switching applications. And the sync also works in both directions. Update a date on the Notion page, and it reflects on the calendar. Drag an event to a different day within the calendar, and the date also updates in the database. That connection between your calendar and your actual work is something Google Calendar simply doesn't offer, and it leads directly into the second point. Number 2, filtering by project or tag. When multiple databases are connected, you're not forced to view all of them simultaneously. Individual databases can be toggled on and off directly from the sidebar. So consider a founder managing a marketing calendar, a product roadmap, and a hiring pipeline, all with a Notion. Filtered views allow you to display only your product deadlines on Monday morning, then switch to the content calendar when you're heading into a marketing review. The same tool, the same screen, just filtered for whatever is relevant at a given time. Within Notion itself, database views can also be filtered by properties such as status, tag, assignee, or priority. Those filtered configurations carry through to how items appear on the calendar. Tasks marked as high priority and in progress, for instance, can occupy an entirely separate calendar view from items still in the planned backlog. Google Calendar offers labels and color coding, and that's effectively where it stops. The third difference is one that tends to surprise people. Number 3, built-in scheduling. No extra tool required. Notion Calendar includes a built-in scheduling link, similar to what you'd get from a dedicated tool like Calendly, at no additional cost. You share your availability, someone picks a time, and it lands directly on your calendar. Google Calendar does have a booking page feature, but it's restricted to paid Google Workspace accounts. With Notion Calendar, it's available on the free plan, with no third-party tool required. Now, beyond scheduling, there's also a meaningful difference in how much context you can attach to each event, which brings us to point 4. Number 4, meeting context without leaving the calendar. In Google Calendar, clicking an event shows you the basic details: title, time, attendees, maybe a drive attachment. In Notion Calendar, you can attach an entire Notion document directly to that event: a meeting brief, a set of discussion questions, a project summary, whatever context is relevant, living right there, accessible the moment you open the events. That means less time hunting through your workspace before a call and more time arriving prepared. The fifth point addresses something that comes up often when you're managing both a work and personal calendar in the same place. Number 5, automatic conflicts, blocking across calendars. If you have both a work calendar and a personal calendar connected, Notion Calendar will automatically block out your busy time across both. Accept a dentist appointment on your personal calendar, and your work calendar reflects that you're unavailable, without any manual adjustments. Google Calendar can only perform this kind of cross-calendar blocking if all your calendars live under the same Google accounts. If your work and personal accounts are separate, you're largely managing conflicts yourself. Notion Calendar handles it regardless of which accounts are connected. That covers scheduling conflicts, and the 6th point is particularly relevant for anyone coordinating across different time zones. Number 6, time zone visualization for global teams. Notion Calendar lets you display multiple time zones side by side directly within the calendar view. So when you're scheduling across regions, you can see at a glance what time a proposed slot represents for each person involved. Google Calendar allows a secondary time zone label on the time column, but it stops at 2, and it's a single column display. Notion Calendar makes the comparison genuinely visual, which, when you're coordinating across multiple regions, is a meaningful difference. So, is Notion Calendar worth switching to? Well, here's my honest take. If you're already working primarily with a Notion, if your tasks, projects, and notes are all housed there, then yes, Notion Calendar is worth using. It doesn't require rebuilding anything. It connects to your existing setup and adds a fully functional calendar layer on top of it. The database sync alone is enough reason to use it over Google Calendar in isolation. And if you're not on Notion yet, this is actually a solid entry point. The calendar is free, the setup is straightforward, and it gives you an immediate reason to explore what the broader Notion workspace can do for how you manage your work. That said, both tools have their place. Google Calendar integrates seamlessly with Gmail, Google Meet, and the rest of Google Workspace suite. And for teams already built around that ecosystem, it remains a practical choice. But for the founder who runs their operation through Notion, or the small team that's already Notion native, however, the case is clear. You're not introducing another tool into your workflow. You're viewing all your work within a single, unified interface. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. If you are ready to get started, the free Notion link is in the description below. I recommend exploring it and seeing if it fits your workflow. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.